child be ruining their future employment prospects? Career consultant Tom O'Neill says it's vital parents know what their children are doing online because it can leave a tattoo, can't it, Tom?
That's correct, absolutely.
What is this tattoo?
Well, effectively, you know, you get a tattoo on your arm that's made of ink, and you know, you may be able to take that off. But over our lives, we create an online tattoo on all our social networking sites, on Twitter, on YouTube. We are creating with every move a tattoo that a friend will see, but importantly an employer will see. And so it's so vital to make sure as much as possible that tattoo is clean, because this tattoo can never be wiped away. So
you might have a 10-year-old child, for example, doing unseemly things on, or, you know, silly things online, but surely in 10 years' time, that'll all be gone when they are heading out to get employment. I mean, how long do things stay on the internet?
Things stay on the internet forever. There's a website called archive.net.nz, and it not only just has a web shot of every website in the world, but a history of every website in the world. So you may have one dodgy thing up on a website for half an hour. If archive.net comes along, takes a snapshot of that, boom, it's there forever.
That's just quite incredible. So what are some of the silly things that children can do online? What are some examples you can give me that parents should be thinking about?
Well, firstly, of course, photos. Photos can just be shocking. And I mean, we all do stupid things when you're young. I mean, I certainly know I've done crazy things. But the difference is, when I was young, you couldn't get it to the international world.
No.
Now you can get it to the international world straight away. And so obviously photos are can be really bad. Another thing also is not just your website. So, you know, your teenager may have, or tween have a Facebook site. That may not be just their photos they've got on there. It may be their friends' photos they've got of them. And
you know, tagged.
Parties, tagged, and you know, they'll be at a party and doing something stupid. Someone takes a whole lot of photos, and it's up on Darren's, you know, Facebook page.
I know. I've seen photos of me. I'm like, oh, where did that come from?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's such a different world now. What about names of? Because there are some quite inappropriate Gmail or Hotmail names that people call themselves. They don't just call themselves Sarah Bradley.
No.
What are some that you've seen?
A lot of people like their email address to reflect their characteristic, personality, etc. That's great if you're going to use it for just your friends. Not so good if you're going to, you know, be in contact with an employer. Email addresses I've got include sexyhotpants@hotmail.com.
Sorry.
Just in lurid...
people applying for jobs?
Yeah, racist ones, sexist, just pretty much everything you can think of. And it's like their mind switches off when they go and do these things, because they just create a personality-driven email address and then use that for all their communication. So I'd encourage you or your children to have, you know, sarahbradley512@gmail.com for your work emails.
And then I'll keep my sexy hot pants one, you know, for my personal life. Let's talk about texting, because there was an article in the paper a couple of weeks ago about this thing called sexting, which I hadn't even heard of, when children take inappropriate photos or videos and send them to friends. How can you, what can you say to your children to discourage this kind of behaviour? Because if you accidentally push the wrong number...
Well, A, you're sending it to the wrong place for a start. You know, that's really bad. But B, these days phones are mini computers. So you send a dodgy photo of yourself to a friend,
he could
bang, up and on Facebook, you know. Out it goes a video, out on YouTube. You know, hey, can be hooked into Twitter. You know, suddenly what was supposed to be an intimate shot between two people is now being viewed by millions of people around the world, and it happens all the time. Shouldn't be a surprise to people that this is happening. I'd really encourage your audience to, if they've got tweens, teenagers, to make sure that they are friends on their Facebook page, for example.
I see what you mean, because you can ask people, if people don't have Facebook, you can ask to be you can choose people to be friends, and then you can see all their page.
Yeah, and now a lot of parents say, oh, I can't do that, you know, I respect my child's privacy. Well, you respect your child's privacy and they won't be able to get employed. Or they'll have people, weirdos, knocking on their door. You know, do you want that? I think, you know, just saying to your child, look, I have to be a friend, I won't comment, I'll just be sitting there in the background. I give you my word, I won't say anything. I'll have a quiet word to you offline.
Have I seen anything?
But, you know, I won't say anything online to embarrass you, but I will be your friend.
With this whole Facebook thing, and I presume if you're under 18, is it like, are children required to heed their parents saying they're friends? I don't know what children's rights are. Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, there were a whole lot of laws around it, but realistically, there's no practical way to enforce those laws.
Okay.
You know, and so you know, a tween can jump on right now, probably right now on the show. You know, a tween's jumping on, creating a new Facebook account,
don't tell their parents.
You know, don't tell their parents, and you know, it's an extension of their world. It's an extension of the world we didn't have when we were growing up, but it's a just as valid extension of their world. You know, and so there's no issues there. Great, use it, fantastic. But make sure it's controlled. You know, your 13-year-old is not thinking about work for a decade, you know, but creating that online tattoo, that online history, you know, can really start to damage things later on.
Very interesting stuff. Thank you so much, Tom, for coming in, and I'm sure this will be really important for parents out there watching. Thanks.
Thank you. Real pleasure.